Okay, everybody, this is episode 2 of the Mass Culture Podcast, and we're going to start off with a moment of silence, so to speak, for Ted White, who played Jason in part 4. Take it away. What do you know about him?
Okay, we gave it that moment of silence there for Ted White. He was Jason in part 4. He was born Alex Bayouth. 96 years old was a very, very long life. So congratulations on that, And
Yeah.
I heard about it this morning. I guess he passed away in his sleep. So I mean, it's good. There was no suffering or nothing. So it was good. But he was kind of like the first Jason out, like really got people like, all right, this guy's gonna be good. The look and stuff like that. He was also very good friends with John Wayne. He did a lot of stunt doubles for John Wayne throughout the films. He also doubled the Gilman in Revenge of the Creature from the Black Lagoon, I believe.
Okay.
Kudos on a nice career he's had in film and stuff. I had the pleasure of meeting him back in 2006, I believe it was, in New Jersey. So
Sure, yeah.
he signed a Jason item of mine that has like all the Jasons on there, and sadly, there's now 2 of them that are on it that have passed away. Also,
Wow.
Richard Brooker. So you know.
And that's why if you go to these conventions, the Comic-Cons, don't be afraid to get an autograph on something because you never know. They could be gone before you know it. So
yeah, you just never know. So I mean, you have it, you want it signed. There they are. Get it now because you might not get the next opportunity with certain people. You know,
Right,
a lot of people quit doing conventions and stuff like that. So
let's make this one about just Jason in general.
that sounds good. We like Jason.
I like Jason too, but you love Jason.
I love Jason.
Take it away. What do you know about, like, how do you remember as Jason as a kid? Like, who is Jason to you?
Going as far as back, like being a kid, you're not really sure like who the actor is who plays Jason in a movie. All you know is the hockey mask. Not one single person you know does not know the hockey mask and think of Jason automatically.
True.
So I mean that goes it's a given. So
Right.
I would say the first Jason movie I probably ever saw was maybe part 3. And here I find out that was the very first one where he got the famed hockey mask.
Yeah.
Because in part 2 he wore the sack on his head, and in part 1 he wasn't even in it. But yeah, some people they go, "Oh, Jason was the killer in the first one." No, he wasn't.
Mom.
Mrs. Voorhees was.
Right.
But Jason Voorhees is so iconic. From video games, action figures, posters, knickknacks, T-shirts, charms, hats, you name it, they got Jason's face on it and constantly selling stuff galore. I mean, Friday the 13th is one of the most iconic franchises in the horror film industry.
For sure.
So many actors have played Jason in, so many different character, how they did him different, and it's always been interesting to see how they've done Jason, what they're going to do next with him.
So Jason ranks definitely your Fab 4, right?
Oh yeah, he's definitely Mount Rushmore. I'd say he's right behind Michael Myers.
And then there's Leatherface, Freddy.
Probably Leatherface,
Freddy.
Freddy Leatherface.
Freddy Leatherface.
Yeah, that's a Fab 4.
Yeah. And I think everyone pretty much feels that way, right? Oh, there's some new people, though. Terrifier.
Yeah, he's new.
He has a long way to go. He's only working on part 2, but...
Yeah, I think the second one just came out a few weeks ago.
Which we're hearing great reviews. We got to go see it.
Yeah, we're definitely going to check it out whenever we get the opportunity.
We're going to check it out just for the show so we can kind of talk about what we think. And not that we're movie critics, but,
Yeah, it just goes with
we need to be, updated on the stuff going on. But Jason Voorhees, your guy's Kane Hodder.
Kane Hodder would probably be the favorite, which mostly 9 out of 10 would say Kane Hodder. I mean,
You have a second?
It could be Ted White.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he was, his role, I mean, it was so good,
Did Ted set the standard for?
I'd say he always set the standard for it because he kind of gave Jason like that hulking look, like that, this guy ain't fucking
Well, he was like a burly guy, probably.
Yeah.
I wonder how tall he was.
I think he was like 6'4", 6'5".
Well, yeah, so big guy.
Yeah, tall guy, big,
Yeah, and he kind of did the motions.
Yeah, he did the motion and set the standard for him. Sit back and you look at Friday the 13th and, from Gung's original 1980 up until, Freddy vs. Jason, they did the remake in 2009. I mean, it just, it's been how many years?
That was already 2009.
Yeah,
they have not done a Jason.
Now that whole lawsuit that's been going on with Sean S. Cunningham and Victor Miller, there's a rumor going around now saying there's going to be a new Friday the 13th film in 2023, which is next year.
Yeah, wonder if Blumhouse is behind that one too.
We'll see, right?
Hopefully. Right.
But I think, however they do that, I hope to just do it the right way, give it justice that it deserves. The fans have been waiting many, many, many years.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully to see Jason come back. Obviously, with this trilogy we just had of Michael Myers and Halloween series after that, it had many, many years of nothing. Well, the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre that came out to Netflix, I heard that's a trilogy as well.
And that was
so
good.
That was good. I liked it.
It was good.
I enjoyed it. Had a lot of good moments in it. It was good.
I didn't like some of the political stuff, but other than that, it was fine.
But I mean, that's today's society.
But that aside, though, it's still a great movie.
Mm-hmm. There's a rumor there's a new Nightmare on Elm Street, in the process.
Yeah, but see, I'm not. Robert Englund was just.
You're not. Yeah. The way I'm going to look at this is, if you hear me out, look at Robert Englund as Bela Lugosi. Like, he was like, every time you look at Dracula, you think of Bela Lugosi, even though there's been how many different actors have played Dracula. But I mean, you still look at Bela Lugosi. That's Dracula,
Right.
So Robert Englund will always have that. He's a Hollywood monster.
Yeah, and with technology, though, here's my thing. With technology the way it is, why don't they have the Freddy Krueger look exactly like Robert Englund, have him do the voice?
They could, but
the CGI stuff, like, why not? Like, I think they definitely could,
I think what they need to do, though, to redo Freddy, if you're going to revamp this whole thing, cast the guy that you can hold on to for 10, 15, 20 years.
Well, what actors and give 10 years of their, because you get what's it called, like Michael Keaton, typecasted. No, they don't want to be typecasted.
See, that's the thing where horror's making a big comeback in Hollywood now. I mean, for a while it was like always looked at like, oh, there's only
small project,
only the weirdos horror films, but now it's like the most popular stuff. I mean, the box office don't lie on the numbers that it's doing.
Different projects. That's why everyone's jumping into it now.
Give it time, it fades away. So many people will drop away.
Yeah,
you'll always have the horror fans that are always 100% committed to every project, no matter what it is.
They're at least committed to give it a go.
Yeah, we sit there, we give it the chance, see what it has.
Now, what is your favorite Friday the 13th movie? Only one, including a Freddy vs. Jason. If you want to include that, you can.
No, I want to. That was definitely not my favorite.
Right.
And honestly, I think 7 was really good. That's when we first met Kane Hodder playing him, because he had all the bruises and every injury that Jason has ever suffered. That's what he looked like. That's why they called him the zombie Jason, and because he had like you saw the ribs showing and stuff like that, and the mask was cracked, the teeth and stuff. Like, he had all those injuries, so they finally give that, like, this is what he should look like. Opposed to I always liked how he looked in Jason.
That's when he wasn't just Jason in a hockey mask anymore.
Yeah, that's when he was like the monster zombie Jason
with the brain or the head's deformed and
deformity, like all like beat up looking. I liked how he looked in Jason Goes to Hell.
Not look though, but what is your favorite movie?
I like 5 because it's different.
So 5?
5 is up there because it's like a crazy movie. Like, there's so much going on in that movie. It's like, they're not house, crazy mom and the son, all that. There's just so much going on in it.
I think I have to pick Jason Goes to Hell, but only because I feel like I've watched that one way more than the other ones, and that kind of proves that's my favorite by default.
Yeah, I'd say if you watched it
if you watched it the most. Now, it does have a lack of Jason in the movie, where you're kind of wondering where he is the whole time.
Right.
But maybe that's part of it, that you don't know where he is when you're waiting on him.
It was different because what Adam Marcus did is you wanted to miss Jason in it, and every time you'd see him, like, he'd walk by, you'd see him like in that mirror reflecting, or look, there he is. And you're like,
it builds the anticipation.
It was so cool. And that was definitely a good one. I like how they started off. It was like the ending of a movie was the beginning of a movie.
Yeah. And that was a real good beginning too.
Yeah,
like that kept you hooked for the whole rest of the movie.
Yeah, that
maybe they figured they started out with a slow story that
it's gonna be the same old. Yeah.
But when you see like him getting shot up and everything, like that might be one of the best. That happens in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Right?
Yeah, that's like the first 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, so I mean that could be a trendsetter in itself.
It's a trendsetter. They had a little restaurant, the Jason Burgers and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, they did.
How many times did I try making Jason burgers and burn the tips of my fingers, touch the skill, like, oh?
Why don't you just take the meat out first?
I tried. I was young and stupid. I was like,
oh, you and you're young. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So I could definitely still see you eating a Jason burger.
I definitely would eat a Jason burger.
Yeah, for sure. What else though? Jason, give me some.
Well, every year for Halloween, thousands of people are going to be him.
Except for it's 2009 since the last time they've done a Jason movie.
2009 was the last time we saw him on the big screen.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You would think people like that every 2 years at minimum they'd have another Jason movie.
Well, if you look in the 80s, when they all first came out, you go from 1980, the original, but 93 was 9 of them.
9 of them?
Yeah.
Wow.
13 years. 9 of them.
Is Sean S. Cunningham still in the 2009 version?
Yeah, I believe he was involved in that remake or whatever you want to call it.
Was he a writer, producer?
I believe he was a producer on the film.
I wonder who wrote it. We have to look it up. But
It was
and Ted White only played him one time.
yeah, he played him once, but he was in I think it was The New Beginning, which was 7, when they did a retro clips of Jason come up. You saw him in that too. I think it was an uncredited but credited scene. You mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
played him in that movie. He was also in the was it 30 Years at Camp Crystal Lake documentary and stuff like that, talking about Jason. Time on this playing Jason and stuff.
So, who was Jason's biggest rival? Was it Creighton Duke?
Well, if you only got technical by film, it either been Creighton Duke or Freddy Krueger.
Because every year he's only, unlike Michael, going after his family and whoever gets in his way.
Whoever shows up on the campground.
Yeah, Jason's camp. Oh, which, by the way, they're doing the Camp Crystal Lake tours now.
Yes, I know Ari Lehman was doing some of the tours. I don't know what all ones, you'd have to check into it, but I know he's been on some of the ones, which would be kind of cool. This is the very first Jason. Boy, who jumped out of the water is sitting there giving you the tour of,
Yeah.
like, hey, this is where we shot this at. That's where we filmed that, you know.
And hopefully we'll get to go out there soon and check that out.
Yeah, we should definitely make a plan for that, you know.
Yeah. I mean, how would you feel to be in the cabin of the Jason movie?
Yeah, it would be pretty neat, you know.
To him, it'd be like, would you rather go to the White House or the cabin in Crystal Lake?
Cabin on Camp Crystal Lake.
Trying to think of somewhere else. No, I know you'd rather go to Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Oh yeah, that's a given.
Would you rather go to Mount Rushmore or the cabin of Camp Crystal Lake?
Camp Crystal Lake.
Grand Canyon or Crystal Lake?
Crystal Lake.
What are the other like wonders of the world?
Yeah.
Crystal Lake over all of them.
Yeah.
Las Vegas, paid trip, or Camp Crystal Lake?
I don't belong in Las Vegas. I'd be in Camp Crystal Lake. I have no
That's
business in Vegas.
Yeah, what can you do there? What
Nothing.
horror movie was made there?
And I have nothing to do there.
So
I'm
yeah.
sure to millions of people it's a fantastic trip, though. Just
Yeah.
me personally, it just ain't for me.
Yeah.
I don't gamble or nothing. So
Don't they have the Dancing Jasons or something? What is that?
oh, there is a group called the Jasons. I was supposed to check them out the last time they came, and I was booked for something else to do already at the same night. But they're like a rock band. They all wear Jason masks. They perform. I think it's pretty cool. You know, I definitely want to see them.
Yeah. And of course, Twisted has the Michael Myers and Jason that dance around
Mhm.
stage with him. I think they do that like all the time too. I think
Even Ari Lehman, he has his group called First Jason,
First Jason.
where they
Yeah.
do like rock songs and stuff like that. They usually have Jason standing on stage with them. It looks
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
good,
makes
you know.
sense. He should be like the drummer.
Yeah.
That's funny.
He's like a menace, like on the stage, just like walking around. I've seen in pictures and whatnot.
And why is Jason's mom not more known as the killer? What's her name? Betsy Palmer?
Well, Betsy Palmer's, who played her, yeah.
And
But Pamela Voorhees
Voorhees,
was
yeah.
her name, yeah. I think a lot of people just like, you just hear the name Friday 13 and you just assume Jason. If
Yeah.
you're not like in the horror film and you don't really think about that, Jason didn't really come on with the hockey mask till the third film, you're
Wow.
like, you'd be surprised how many times you hear that question like in a Q&A, like, who was the killer in the original Friday 13? It was Jason Voorhees. Like, nope.
Mm.
What?
Yeah.
Mrs. Voorhees in there. Huh? What?
Wow. And of course, growing up, Donald used to always dress up as Jason, and you'd always dress up as Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Donald was a great Jason.
Yeah.
You got to admit it. He's about 6'3" or whatever he
Yeah,
is.
we definitely raised some hell on so a
Scared
lot
a
of
lot
girls
of
and
people.
stuff like that.
Yeah. And the famous story where he tried to scare a certain girl and she kicked him in the nuts.
Oh, comical story.
Mm, yeah.
Yes. I didn't know you could run that fast.
He ran
Yeah,
faster
he
than you could believe.
ran.
After her.
Yes.
Not, once he
Yeah.
composed himself. Chased her all the way around the block, like
2 or 3
screaming
times.
like a maniac. too.
Yeah.
And he ran like the running man. Like it was just.
Yeah, he was quick. I was like, oh, I didn't know you could move like that.
Wow. Childhood
And she didn't
story.
catch him though either. He never caught
No, but she was screaming bloody murder. He was
Mhm.
chasing her.
her.
But he scared her in the first place. That's why she kicked him.
I think I finally took off my mask to break out a character because I couldn't
Good,
laugh
yeah.
if I had the mask
We had
on.
attended
I-
the
I-
issue.
Yeah.
Wow. Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, what we used to do, I'd go up one way, he'd go the other, and we'd creep up and meet up in the middle. Girls would be around, and we'd come out, and they'd,
Yeah, they didn't know what way to run. They didn't know what to
know where
do.
to go.
Yeah. And he just
Good
did this all the
times.
time, too.
Oh, yeah, this is all year round.
And it didn't have to be, it didn't have to be October.
It could have been Christmas time,
Yeah.
February, Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
whatever, summertime.
What's your fondest Jason memory? You have one.
Maybe the first time meeting Kane Hodder, I was like,
there for that.
wow, I was so like shocked. Like, wow, this Kane Hodder, the guy I've been watching since.
We met him
years.
somewhere in Ohio. It
Yeah.
wasn't Cleveland, though.
It wasn't Cleveland. It was somewhere else, like some weird
like
town.
Youngstown or something? No.
Maybe it was Akron or something. It was somewhere
Yeah.
different. It wasn't Cleveland. It was like a small town and
And it was like a low key.
low key convention.
He was just cool as could be, and we're talking to him.
Cool as can be, and pictures with him, talked to him for a while. Super nice guy.
And you fainted, and after we
Ah.
woke you up,
It wasn't like that, but yeah.
it was close. It was real close.
Actually, he put the chokehold on me at first. Like,
Oh yeah, because he's a monster too.
Yeah.
Kane Hodder.
oh yeah,
He don't play around.
his
man.
arms are gigantic, and he's in there choking. You really feel the choking.
Oh yeah.
But it's cool though, because you feel like that's what it's like working with him as Jason. You know, if you're an actor, you're working against Jason. You don't want to just like a little tap. Like you want to be a little roughed up. I feel
Yeah.
that, but it kind of get the feel for it. You know,
And in the character.
in the character. You know, gotta respect that.
Worst Jason movie, Friday the 13th.
2009.
That's just a shot fired because it's.
I'm
new
just
people.
saying, Platinum Dunes. No,
That's what it is.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap this one up. Do we have anything less to talk about?
no, but we will be back. Episode 3 coming soon.
Oh yeah, the next one will be our Batman episode where we talk about who we would cast if we had our own green light to cast anyone you wanted our own Batman.
hmm
So we're gonna name all the characters and who we would cast to play these roles.
But the
And-
trick is, we cannot cast anyone we know.
Anyone prior, no actor prior that's played in the movies.
You can't be
no
like,
one we
you
know
know-
personally. And number 3 is we haven't told each other our lists.
Yes.
So we'll do it live with each other, and we'll kind of the
So
shock and
I'll
awe.
just be like a live feed with the audience as you guys will see who we're casting. Think about who you would like to cast and put that in the comments below.
Yeah, and maybe you could argue your point with us. All right, guys.
Hey,
Mass Culture
Friday
Podcast,
13th.
episode 3 coming out soon.